Hello students, I am Parvesh Kumar from Golden Public School, Muzaffarnagar. Today in this video, I am going to tell you the summary of the poem A Legend of the Northland. This poem is taken from class 9th English book. So let us start the summary of the poem. Okay students, just I have already told to you the name of the poem is A Legend of the Northland. Dear student, this is a ballad poem, means it narrates a story in short paragraphs. Dear students, when a poem narrates a story in short paragraphs, then we call it ballad. And it is not enough about ballad. Actually, also in a ballad, all the para contains four lines. Okay, how many lines? Four lines. In a ballad, all the para contains four lines, and in total, it has 16 stanza. It has 16 stanza that tell us a story. Dear student, in this poem there are 16 stanza, and each stanza has or contains four lines, and it tells us a story. So it is a ballad. Okay student, there are part of the folk culture or popular culture that orally passed from one generation to the next generation. Okay students, in a ballad actually what is there is a folk culture or maybe the popular culture which orally passed from one generation to another generation, that we know as a folk tale. What is a folk tale, dear students? The folk tale is one which pass one generation to the next generation. In the same way, we can say ballad is a poem which is actually a story, contains a story. Here in this poem there are six stanzas, each stanza has four lines, and actually it is a complete story. Okay students, yes, if we talk about folk culture actually is stories of an area that we know as a ballad. Okay, folk culture is stories of an area, or in other we can say that folk tales or the stories of a particular area is known as ballad. And in this poem we get a story of a particular area which is of Nordland, so it is a ballad. Okay students, yes, yes. This is the story of northern area, as the poet tells us in the first stanza that it is the story of the northern area which is near the North Pole. Dear students, you have learned in your geography about North Pole. Okay, just so this poem is a ballad, and a ballad contains a story of an area. This poem contains a story of northern area, or we can say a place which is near the North Pole. Okay students, the poet does not specify the exactly place, although the exactly place is not specified by the poet, but Northland means the area in the northmost part of the earth. Okay, northmost part, that means near the North Pole, near the North Pole. Okay student, further, legend refer to a historical story that is very old and has been orally passed from generation to generation, from generation to generation. As in the title we have noticed the word legend, a legend of the Northland. Okay students, so what we can say, actually we can say just legend. I have told to the meaning of legend. Legend refers, what legend refers to a historical story, okay, that is very old and has been orally passed from one generation to another. And northern is a area near the North Pole, near the North Pole. So we can say in this poem there is a story. In this poem, there is a historical story which is of about Northland. Okay, of the place, and the place is near the North Pole. Okay, students. Yes. Yes, let's go ahead. Yes, the Northland is an area near the North Pole where days are short. Dear students, you have studied in your geography that near the poles the days are short and nights are longer. Nights are longer. So, in our poem, it is also mentioned that the Northland in the area that is referred as Northland in the poem. Okay, the days are shorter. And why days are shorter? Because the sun rays reach for very little time there. Okay, student. Here, during the winter, if we talk about the winter, the duration of the night is longer and days are shorter. Dear students, you have studied in your geography book too that near the pole, during the winter particularly, the days are shorter and nights are longer, actually too longer. Okay, that is why the word they, if we talk about the poem, the word they in line 4 refer to the people who live in this region or who live near the North Pole or who live in Northland. Okay, student. And the poet says that the duration of night is longer. Okay, and people cannot sleep them. Actually, the duration of the night is too long, so the people of that area could not sleep for the complete duration of the night. Okay, student. The poet wants to emphasize the fact that the nights are very longer. Okay, describing this, here the poet wants to tell us the nights are too longer in the North Pole or in that region during the winter. Okay, students, the region experiences severe cold conditions. The region experiences severe cold condition as it is a snowy area. Dear students, you know North Pole is a snowy area. Okay, and we have also studied that the sun rays reach there for a short time. That is why there the region experiences severe cold condition. Okay, moreover, as you have studied in your earlier classes about Eskimos, you have read. Okay, dear students, and you have lesson about the reindeer. Okay, here the reindeer are the animals that live in the polar region, which the people use to pull their sleighs. You have studied all these things in your earlier classes about reindeer, about polar region, about the people who lived in that region. Okay, students? Yes, that region is mentioned in the poem. Yes, the poet says that children look like polar bear cub. Why poet says so? Dear students, because they wear clothes made from the fur of the skin of the bear. In the poem, the poet tells us children look like polar bear cubs. Why he says so? He says so because they wear clothes made from the fur of the skin of the bear. Dear students, here I would like to mention that in the line, children look like polar bears because children are compared with polar bear, and the word of comparison like is used, so poet used simile in this line. Okay, the figure is of speech simile is used by the poet in this line. You are to keep this in your mind too. Okay, in line 1 of the third para, dear student, line 1 of the third para, they refer to the elders. Just in the fourth para, I have already told to you, they refer to the people of the Northland. They refer to the people of North Pole who are living near the North Pole. But in third para and first line, they refer to the elders, and them refers to the children. Okay, students, as I have already told to you in fourth paragraph, they refer to the people. In the same way, in third paragraph, they refers to elders and them refers to the children. You are to keep in your mind. There may be question from the paragraph regarding it. Okay. Okay, students, yes. In addition, the elders tell a strange and interesting story about the young ones. Okay. However, the poet does not believe that the story is true. Still, it gives an important message. Dear students, poet himself tells us that he does not believe in the story whether it is true or not, but he tells us that the story, okay, the story gives an important message. Okay, the story which is in the form of poem gives us an important message. Okay, in the first three paragraphs we come to know about all these things. Now let us go ahead. What is the story actually? You will be eager to know it. Yes, what is the story? The story is, yes, I am going to tell you about the story now. It is the story of a woman. Dear student, it is the story of a woman. It is the story about Saint Peter. Saint Peter. Okay. If we talk about the story, or we can say this ballad refers to the time. It refers to the time when Saint Peter lives in the world. Okay. Saint Peter lived in the world and went round giving spiritual lectures to the people like all saints do. And then one day an incident happened. Dear students, as you know, saints wander from one place to another place, okay, giving spiritual lectures, preaching the people about the God. Okay, in the same way, Saint Peter went around. He gives the spiritual lectures to the people like other saints. Okay, one day, one incident happened with him. What it was actually, while giving lectures or when he was preaching the people, one day he reached the door of a cottage where a small woman was making cake in the fireplace. As I have already told to you, Saint Peter's goes from one place to another place giving spiritual lectures to the people. One day, what happened, dear student? He reached at the cottage of a woman, and at that time, that woman was baking cake in the fireplace. Okay, student. Saint Peter was very hungry that day because the day was about to complete, and he roamed all the day. He was hungry and tired at that time when he reached at the cottage. And dear student, you know, because he was hungry, he asked the woman to give him a cake. Okay, students, what the Saint Peter did? Saint Peter was very hungry that day, as he has not had a meal and was feeling weak. So he approaches the woman. He reached near the woman and asked her for one cake out of the many baked by her. He asked the woman to give him a cake because he was hungry and tired. But, dear student, the woman was selfish. The woman was too selfish. Dear students, as I have told to you, the woman was selfish and she did not give him a cake from the store. She did not give him a cake which she has made. Okay, from which she has made. In its place, what she did, she makes a very small cake for Saint Peter. Okay, as she was selfish, she was greedy, she does not want to give a big cake to Saint Peter. So what she did? So what she do actually? She bakes a small cake for Saint Peter. Okay, as she does not want to share her things. However, when she places the cake for baking, she thought that it is too big to give away. Not it dear. Not it dear students. When she was to bake the cake, at that time she thought that the cake was too big to give away. The miser woman then again started making a small cake. So the student, she again started making another cake. As I have already told you, she was selfish lady, she was a greedy lady. So when she baked the cake, she thought it is too big to give. So she tried to bake to make another small cake for Saint Peter. Okay, students, are you getting the things what I am telling to you? I have already told to you. It is the story of a woman who was selfish. One day, the Saint Peter came at his cottage. At that time, he was hungry and tired. He asked the lady to give him a cake from her store, but she did not give him a cake from her store. She thought to bake a small cake for him, but when she baked the cake, it seemed her too big to give, so she did not give that cake to the Saint Peter. She again